Now we're going to talk about the other strokes. I basically use 5 different strokes. Some people will define them as 3 strokes or 6 strokes. It's just what I use to get the message across. So the first one was a rebound stroke. The next stroke we're going to use is a controlled stroke. Now all of these strokes are defined by what follows. So a controlled stroke is an accent or louder note followed by a softer note. So you're preparing for a softer note after you play the first one. So what I want to do is after that accent is squeeze the stick so it stays down, and now I'm prepared to play a softer note or a tap. Okay, with the rebound stroke, those are accents followed by more accents. Now each time I'm preparing myself to play another note at that same volume. All right, so the controlled stroke, and then we have taps, which are basically rebound strokes but at a soft dynamic level. And you're going to hear them called different things. Inner beats, ghost notes, taps, it's all the same thing. That's these softer notes. And finally, we have the upstroke. I said finally, but there's one more stroke to follow that. The upstroke, or molar stroke, is a soft note preparing for a louder note. So if I'm here and I got a soft note and the next note is loud, I'm going to do this. It's just preparation. So I'm on my way up. I mentioned the name molar. There's a guy by the name of Sanford Moeller that wrote a book, and in the book he defined this stroke by several different pictures of an upstroke going like this, frame by frame. Now in the book he uses this large motion, but later on in an interview he was told it's really not that, it's just this motion here. And I call this a common sense stroke. And if you want to play with a lot of speed, you really need to work on this stroke. In a way, it's cheating. On the way up, I'm going to tap the drum, and now I have an accent. So instead of tapping and then lifting, I'm going to lift at the same time as I play that tap. All right, so we have rebound, controlled stroke, tap, and upstroke. If you learn these 4 strokes, you can play all of the rudiments except the buzz rudiments, a multiple bounce roll, which is our 5th stroke, is a buzz, which we're going to cover in the next section. Right now we're going to focus on those first 4 strokes. Take a look at exercise number 1 in lesson 1. The third measure of that exercise is basically your ABCs of drumming. It has those 4 strokes we talked about in that one measure. It's 2 accented notes followed by 2 unaccented notes. And to play it, the first note is a rebound, second note a controlled stroke, third note a tap, inner beat or ghost note, and then the 4th stroke is an upstroke, or we call the molar stroke. So I'll play them in sequence. One thing you want to think about when you're playing the molar stroke is to lift the wrist. And I always say if you have a watch on or a band, imagine you're pulling on the wrist as you're playing that note. So your wrist pops up just a little bit. If I play this quickly, I'm going to just play triplets on one hand so you can kind of see it in a faster motion. It gives you a lot of speed without having to work very hard. All right, you might have noticed in exercise 1 of lesson 2, the initials above that exercise, DRRB. That stands for the Drummer's Rudimental Reference Book, which is another book I wrote, also published by Roll-Off Productions. This one's much more extensive, and it's for you when you're ready to go to the next level.